everyone. Welcome back to another Revit tutorial. Today I'm gonna show you how to create a basic parametric modern style door like this for Revit 2019. So no further ado, let's jump into Revit. Select New in Families. Select Door Template file from Libraries and open it. I am going to change the scale to 3/4 inch of 1 foot for better visibility. Let's change text size as well. Let's keep it 1/16 inch. And doing the same with dimensions as well. Let's place the text close to wall to zoom in a bit for clear view. Now let's change thickness of wall. To do so, go to Properties and click Edit Type. Duplicate the wall type, let's name it 9-inch wall, then click OK. Now let's edit the thickness of structure. Click Edit next to Structure and change the value to 9-inch, then click OK. Now let's delete predefined parameters as we don't need it in our case. Let's delete geometry as well. Open exterior view and delete symbolic lines as we don't need it. Delete the dimensions as well. Go to Reference Level, create reference plane for frame as shown with offset of 3 inch. Now let's create additional reference plane with offset of 1 and 2 inches shown. Let's create frame. Go to Exterior View and create a sweep. Sketch Path, under Draw tab, select Rectangle, and draw as shown and lock the constraints. And deleting the bottom line, as we don't need the threshold for our frame, and I'm changing location of profile as well. Let's edit profile, select Floor Plan and open View. Draw the profile lines as shown. Select Align tool and align all the lines to reference plane as shown. Click OK to finish the profile and sweep for frame. Let's go to View 1 under 3D views to see how our frame looks. I'm changing the graphics properties for better view. Let's go to Reference Level. Let's zoom in for better view. Create couple of additional reference plane for panel highlighter as shown. I'm using 4-inch offset. Let's create one more reference plane for panel highlighter thickness. I'm using 1/2 inch offset. Create extrusion for panel of the door as shown, and lock the constraints. Create the extrusion for panel highlighter as well and lock the constraints. Let's go to exterior view. I'm changing the graphics to wireframe. Let's create couple of more reference plane for our panel to be parametric. I'm using 2 and 1 inch offset. Lock the constraints of panel and panel highlighter to reference plane as shown. Let's go to 3D view and see how our door look by now. Perfect. Go to reference level and create one more reference plane as shown for handle. Place the dimension and assign equality constraints as shown. Now let's go to exterior view and create a horizontal reference plane to assign handle height parameter to handle. Go to reference level and insert handle family from libraries. Now let's place the handle. To do so, go to Create, in Model tab, Components. Before placing the handle, let's change the thickness parameter of handle. As we have 2½ inch thickness, let's change it to 2½ inch and place it as shown. Activate Align tool and lock the constraints of handle to reference plane as shown. Now go to exterior view and align the handle to reference plane and lock the constraints. Now let's go to reference level. Select the frame and change the subcategory under Identity Data in Properties panel to Frame or Mullion. Let's do the same with panel as well, but we will choose panel for this. Now place dimensions as shown to assign parameters to it. I'm going to change the properties of dimensions for better visibility. Let's change the tick mark to none, to hide the tick mark for dimensions. Now let's define parameter for frame width. Select the dimension, go to Label Dimension tab and click Parameter Properties. Let's give the name as frame width and click OK. Now let's define parameter for frame depth. use Create Similar tool and place the dimension and assign equality constraint. Place one more dimension as shown. Select the dimension and assign parameter as previously done, but this time name it as frame depth. And click OK. Place couple of more dimensions as shown and lock it. Let's go to exterior view and place dimensions as shown. Select 3-inch dimension and assign parameter frame width from label dimension drop-down menu. Now let's place dimensions for handle height. Select the dimension, assign parameter as we have done before. This time let's name it handle height. Select the dimension and change the lock height to 3 foot 3 inch. It's important to save our work. Let's save the family. You may choose your desired location. I am creating new folder. Let's name it Modern Wood Door. I'm giving the same name to the file name. Now it's time to check the width, height, and frame width parameters. As you can see, our door is now parametric and working fine. Let's check frame depth parameter. As you can see, frame depth parameter is working fine, but there is problem with panel thickness, so let's have a control over panel thickness. To do so, place dimensions as shown and assign parameter as previously done. This time name it panel thickness. Now let's check again. It looks fine. But highlighter thickness is changing. Let's lock the thickness of highlighter. Place dimensions as shown and lock the constraints. Now let's check once again. Perfect. Let's check the panel thickness as well. It looks good. Let's change its value to 1/2 inch. Change the frame width value to 5 inch. Let's save the family and open 3D view. Now it's time to assign material parameter. Select frame, click parameter button under material finishes in properties panel, and name it frame. Do the same with panel and panel highlighter. OK, now let's assign material parameter for handle. To assign parameter, select handle, go to Properties panel and click Edit Type. Under Material Finishes, assign new parameter, naming handle material and click OK. Now let's define materials. Go to Family Types, under Material and Finishes, click Parameters button next to Frame. Create new material. Name it teak wood. Go to Appearance, click Replace Asset. On Document Assets panel, select Appearance Library. Now let's search for wood materials. Under Wood Materials, search for teak. Now click on Replace Asset. Let's do the same with panel as well. I'm going to name it teak stained. I'm choosing plywood instead of teak. Let's change the name to plywood. For panel highlighter, I'm gonna duplicate the plywood material. Name it panel highlighter and choose paneling 1 for it. As you can see, nothing is changed. Let's go to Materials and change the graphics shading to use Render Appearance. Do the same with all materials. Now let's save the model and change our view orientation as shown to exterior. Change the graphics style to realistic to see how our door looks now. As you can see, frame is same as panel. Something went wrong. Let's check it. Our frame parameter is perfect. Let's now check the materials. Our frame material is same as panel material. Let's change it to teak wood. OK, now it looks perfect. We're done with our basic parametric modern style door family. I am new to YouTube, forgive me for my mistakes. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned. Do subscribe to our channel, it helps us a lot. Leave a comment below for any queries. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for latest updates.